Kido mar law marwako ni dhongere luonge ni animal print. Gi dholuo wanyawacho ni entiere kod kido mar le miluongo ni kwach. Mano nyisi maling'ling ewi chenro ma wantiere go kawuono e chenro mar nyadhiwa kama wadwa loso ewi le. Ok walos ewi le mag bungu, kawuono waloso ewi le mag pacho. To bende wadwa ng'iyo kit le mar guok. Ne walimo kaunti ma Kisumu kama romo kod japith miluongo ni Ian. Ian pidho guogi kido ariyo. Guogi mawuok e piny mar South Africa kaachiel koda guogi mawuok e piny mar German. Abiro waye mondo mi onyiswa maling'ling kata nonro mar guogi ariyogi mondo wadhi nyime. Machiegni e chenro mar nyadhiwa nyinga Simfros Okinda.
Ian Tambo. I'm from Kisumu West, next to Siala Resort. I breed pedigree barbels and I also breed pedigree German Shepherd dogs. Yeah. When I started, we just had one German Shepherd which was called Kiki. Yeah, Kiki was a bicolor German Shepherd who I got from Nairobi. So I came and brought her here with me. In fact, initially when I moved, she was still in Nairobi. So I went and brought her here with me. Then she had a first litter, which gave us about 9 puppies, which was a very good litter. And that's how we started. Then from there, I kept on adding. So we added, then we had 2, then we had 4. And sooner or later, we had the many that we have now. Actually, right now, my stock is a little bit smaller than it used to be. At that time, I had about 16 German Shepherds. If you come with me, you will find that here we have primarily, we have Boerbels and German Shepherds. So since of the space, so I've primarily now focused here with the Boerbels are the ones that I keep here primarily. And Germans are just a few. There are about 5 of them in total. And yeah, so the Boerbels here are about 9. Yeah, all of them pedigree imported, registered. Same to the German Shepherds, they are all pedigree registered. Yeah, treatment and vaccination, we have vets for that. So usually you find puppies. You start from the vaccination protocol, which usually involves 2 jabs of parvo. Then there is another vaccination called distemper, DHLP as it's well called. Then we have rabies. So it depends the program you use. Here we use 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and 12 weeks. So that's how we give our vaccination. That's our program. But many people have variants. People start at 6 weeks. Yeah, people will say maybe that's the correct way. But for me, I realized here where we are in Kisumu, if you wait for 6 weeks, maybe because of the heat, so the virus has time here. Once it gets in, it's very difficult to deal with it. So you find from 6 weeks, sometimes you find by 5 weeks, the dogs are already exposed. So if you start at 4, at least you have a chance of making the litter survive. About parvo per dog, you're looking at about 700 shillings per puppy for the first jab. Then you'll give 2. Then we are moving to about distemper. Distemper is a little bit pricey. You'll get it at about 1,500 per puppy. So come along. So here we have some puppies. Yeah, so here these are 3 different litters. Yeah, so these puppies will be living in about, from next week, they're all living to their respective homes, except the ones that we kept. Because if you are breeding to improve, as is our motto, you need to keep some aside. Because you see like that boy who's big there is called Boeta. Boeta is a son of Tambo. We believe he will be an improvement of the father, and so will the siblings be. Yeah, the daughters as well will be an improvement of their mothers. And yeah, so you find, yeah, these are the puppies we have currently. So yeah, these are all Boerbel puppies. This is Matsumi. She's a little bit full, so she's sleeping a bit, but yeah, she can wake up. Yeah, so Matsumi is slightly older with about 4 weeks. So we don't like it when they mix in that order, because yeah, you can see she's a little bit bigger. So we don't want her to bully the rest, and also the vaccinations would not have been at par. So we don't like mixing dogs which are on different levels of vaccination together. Yeah, so usually that's why she's separated. Yes, yeah. I do use shampoo. There's a dog shampoo that we use. And then I like to add with an Ankaracide. Ankaracide is ones you use to wash cows, spray, or things like that. So if you use it well, you need to be very, very keen when you're using it. You need to, so that you don't harm the dog. So we use it so that we can control ticks, fleas, and things like that. So you see, like, if you notice, there's no dog scratching. Yeah, that is how I like it. I like dogs which are not scratching, meaning they're at peace, meaning there's no parasites on them. So that's why I wash with the Ankaracite as well. Yeah, so we do that every weekend. The Ankaracite, I only do it twice in a month because we don't want the coat to be, it's a little bit, yeah, it will make them, it's a little bit harmful, not say harmful, it's a little bit harsh on the coat, let me say that. Yeah, so if you do it constantly, it's a little bit harsh on the coat, even the shine will go away and things like that. So we just do the Ankaracite twice, but we wash them religiously every weekend. Yes. For the barbell puppies, which like that litter that is there, they start from about 120 Kenya shillings. There are some for 100, but primarily we sell at 120. Reason for this, these are pedigree subs registered barbells. Yeah, they're just not any other barbell out there. So the bloodline is directly imported from South Africa, where the barbell originated from. And we don't also have just any other bloodline. We are specific, so we want the best. So we go out there, look for the best possible that we can get. Of course, yeah, it depends with how much you're willing to spend. But at this level, the ones we have brought in, like you'll see Tambo there, he's a son of Labuela Balin, who's known now basically worldwide, and he's one of the best that has ever been. He still exists, he's still alive. Yeah, so you see that kind of thing is what we have here. So we have brought to you the best, we've just brought it home. So we charge basically what we charge. Some will say it's cheap, depending where you are. Some will say it's very expensive, but the reality is it is what you're selling, what you're getting for the money. Yeah. So I usually tell somebody these barbels, unfortunately, when they're born, they look the same. In fact, up to around 5 weeks, they will be the same. But you find from 6, 8, 9, 10 weeks, when you start looking at the dog, then you start asking, hey, why does it mine look like that one? Yeah. So this is where now you start seeing what you bought and why this one is more expensive than the other.
Okang'eyo ni guok ma in godo no chamo ang'o. Guogi ma iano pidho gin guogi mochan negi chiemo. Mana kana wacho ni thieth margi ochan. Kit chiemo ma gichamo bende opogore. Gin guogi mani kod diet. Kendo gin guok ma ing'iyo ni tok kosechiemo, ang'o mokose dende. Manyiso ni chiemo mochamo nyaka bed chiemo maloso dend guogno. To kopogore gi mano bende en chiemo maneno ni guogni opidhi kendo itayo e yo makare.
We have suppliers. So we have suppliers like Kenchik. We have suppliers who give us also Farmer's Choice are there for the dogs. And we have the dry foods from local manufacturers like Bravo. We have people who sell also the pellets as well, like Aquapet. We have people like that. We have Pet Store. So there's a bunch there's so much available range that you can buy. So it is just, it all depends on the budget you're working on. So like me primarily, I only feed the pellets, which is the most expensive part of the feeding of the dogs. I only feed it to pregnant mothers, dogs which are mating, and puppies. So that's it. The rest will eat the normal food, which comprises of my own mixture of unga, which I cook porridge with it. So this one has rice, has maize meal, has omena inside there. Yeah, but I like cooking it as a porridge. Many people say these big dogs, the way they're big, need to eat ugali. No, primarily I say porridge because they absorb it better, and it's for me, I find it more effective on the growth of the animal and also on utilization. So you find, yeah, that's how I feed them. I also use broken rice, and then now the chicken byproducts. For me, I only do chicken. Yeah, I don't do beef at all. Yeah, because when I did beef, I had challenges with fertility and things like that. But that's my experience. It can be very different for somebody else. But yeah, so after that experience, after trying to troubleshoot where the problem might have been, I only focus on chicken byproducts. So for breeding, I'm very specific. So usually Boerboels are bred with Boerboels and German Shepherds are bred with German Shepherds. And you'll find it very hard for me even to mix Boerboels and German Shepherds. As you can see, Germans are there together and there are Boerboels here, who is a male and female, who are both together. Tambo, stay. Michela, stay. 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 Good girl. Now you come. Come. Michela, stay. So here we have, he bears a family name. He's called Sterling Tambo. Yes, he's still a young male. He's about 2.5 years old, heading to 3. Yes. So, yeah.
In terms of feeding, the quantity,
Yeah.
how do you feed them?
Yeah, now I can show you portions. So I can show you his plate. Every dog here has its own plate. So this is Tambo's plate. So basically here is where we will give him the food for him. So it's not necessarily full. It's about 3/4 of this plate. So also it depends on ratios of something like meat. So somebody like him, because of my unga that I do, I call it dog meal. Because of the dog meal, I usually don't put a lot of meat. I don't need to add a lot of meat because that dog meal already has 30% protein. Yeah. So and you can see his body condition is good. There's no ribs showing. There's and he's grown quite well. Yeah, I think he's about 80 kilos as at now. Then yeah, so the only difference, people say Boerboels eat a lot, not quite, because this is a plate I feed German Shepherds on. Bring the German Shepherd. Yeah, so this is Tequila. Yeah, so Tequila is an older female. She's about going to 4 years right now. She's a German Shepherd, so this is her plate. Yeah, she's currently shedding, so that's why she looks a little bit shaggy, not like the younger one. You can bring for me the younger one, the Sidela. Tambo, come. So we feed only 2 times a day for the big boys like him, Tambo, because of his size. We feed him twice per day. But then we have the females who are pregnant are fed twice per day. Puppies eat 3 times in a day, and then the rest eat 1 time in a day. One type of meal for all of them. It's the same that they eat. The only difference is the commercial food, the pellets, is they are different for different purposes. There is puppy food, there is active food, there is maybe adult food, but primarily I use only active and puppy from the various brands I cut across board. Somebody like Tambo, if we bought him as a puppy at about 200,000. He came in from Uganda. He's an import. South African Boerboel. So this one came in with about 200. And right now, if you want to factor in feeding and every care that has gone and training and anything that has been done here, then I will put his value at about $4,500. Yeah, that's how much his value will be, though I will not be willing to sell. So I would, if you really need to buy him, you might have to pay more than that. But of course, he's not for sale. Yes, then you see this young girl here who's even stuck in herself. She's a German Shepherd. Her father was imported, Mshikilia Sisonge. He was imported all the way from Serbia. So even her, she has import blood in her. And the reason we do this is looking always to better. Yeah, we always want to give people something better than what we have locally. Yeah, there's so many people doing good things out there, but we also want to be mentioned among them. And I believe we are here. So this is one of our young breeding girls for the German Shepherd program, which now I've restarted. If you remember, I said we had about 16 German Shepherds, but now we have reduced them, and now we are down to just 4 or 5, and mostly they are young growing dogs.
Okang'eyo, ne thuolo ni poni in gi siling 450,000 kata nus milion. bende inyalo paro ni en pesa minyalo tiyo godo mar nyiewo guok. Nikech mana kana wacho kinde machien cha guok samoro ma wang'iyo go en guok ma ka idhi ka jirani tiyudo ko onyuolo nyithindo mang'eny tinyalo kowi gi guok moro. Guogi ma iyan opidho gi guogi kido ma kama gin guogi mang'eny gi wuok e pinje maoko mana kaka iseng'iyo nyingegi. Omiyo gin bei kata gin guogi mabiro kod nengo mani malo. Kendo jok mang'iyogi ong'eyo gimomiyo ging'iyogi. Par ni guogigi ni nyaka kod obok manyiso nonro margi. Tema samoro bende inyalo paro ni emomiyo gin guogi mani kod nyinge.
Barbells, you need to train obedience. That's the primary thing that you will need to do on them because they are very big dogs. Yeah, and you see, like if you wanted to pull me right now, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, he's more powerful than what I can handle, so it will be difficult for me to handle him. But genetically, he was also bred well, so he's not aggressive unnecessarily. And he's not attacking people also unnecessarily and things like that. And he's disciplined. Even if I remove this leash on him and tell him to go in, he will go in. Yeah, so that is what we want. But of course, we do have, not every dog is the same, so we do work with trainers. We have about 2 of them. So in case you might need, some people want dogs which are, you cannot remove when people are outside like this. So they will want you probably to them to be more fierce.
Nyakwaramogi dweche 6 nyaka ne magoro lal kod ogai mar ODM Raila Amolo Odinga.
Liel moselim molo liete te pinyka aparo ni en mar Raila.
Sasa modhi e function mar ODM nyaka ito bed maonge. Awinjo ka mirima moro maka matek kabisa.
Jotije kod osiepene pod thuthni mondo changi kaluwore kod tho mare.
Raila Odinga ne chal nam. En ng'ama ni nyalo dhi duong'o dhood ng'ato gi nyinge to okia tibiro yudo gimidwaro.
Chunya pok oyie ni baba nowewa.
Onge mare chando ngima joherane kod ji mane omulo ngimagi aching'.
Chunya pod nigi lit kendo pek mathoth.
Fuok mare pek lajre e siasa to kod telo maturka.
Party ne mane is the strongest party barore nyaka gisani.
Mondo yud chuny sigana, tudri kod jafwambo marwa Walter Nyambaga chieng' Jumapil saa 1 mamidhiambo mana Ramogi TV. Kick by.
Zungu dhi bedo mang'eny omiyo adwa ni mondo mi ing'wonwa kaluwore ni guogigi bedo ni giwuok e pinje maoko. Asewacho ni gin guogi mawuok e pinje mag South Africa to giwuok e piny mar German. Mano nyiso nang'o? Kizungu e mang'eny. Omiyo kawuono chenro mar nyadhi wanyalo ng'wononwa mar mondo mi idhino ka kizungu nitie ka kod kacha kaluwore ni guogigi bende ok puonj gi dholuo, ipuonjogi kod dho ngere. Momiyo kawuono kizungu okikore iye ka. Ka ok kamano warangane kaka inyalo tiego kata kaka ipuonjo guogigi mondo mi obed ni ginyalo winjo wach kendo samoro ginyalo duoko wach.
Yeah. Yeah, now for the dogs, the treating regime is once they are mature, once they are above 12 months of age, is a little bit relaxed a bit. So you find we have to do deworming every 3 months, but myself I do 2. Recommended is 3 months when you're doing the injectable plus the tablet, but myself I do it every 2 months just to ensure they are in better shape in terms of worms, because once they're worms they don't gain weight and things like that. Then in terms of sickness and in terms of the attention they need, they are social animals. I call dogs social animals. So you'll need to interact with them. The way there are many like this, I find time as myself to come and interact with at least 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, so at least I come maybe a day, I'll give it to this kennel, I'll take them out on a leash, we go for a walk, or we play with some balls here and there and things like that. Then of course you have to always come and see how they're going. Yeah, you come and just throw an eye, what is happening there with that one, how has it woken up this morning, how is it running about in the compound, is it running a little bit gingerly, things like that. So with dogs, we look at them keenly every day, but the treatment side, once they are mature, relaxed. You're looking at every 2 months, then you have a vet coming in to do maintenance. I call it maintenance. Now, as you can see, my kennel is uniform all the way. So this kennel, I designed it in such a way initially that I can keep 2 dogs behind, 2 dogs in front, but the spacing I've given them is enough. In fact, if you want to fit 3 dogs on each segment of the kennel, you can, but I've given them enough space to ensure that they can grow without limitation. They are not limited in terms of space when they're growing, because if you put them in a compact area, then they sort of want to grow to fit into that compactness. But if you give them the space they deserve, then they have a chance of growing to their full potential without any hindrance. And also it makes them a little bit comfortable, because you want them to be comfortable. And also, as you can see, the aeration is quite good, so that there is no fumes being retained there. And then I've kept a very good slope coming in front, so that also in case they pee in the kennel, it runs all the way down. That keeps the dogs clean. Then and I've not kept wood as other people will do, but when I was doing my slab down, it's just above marram, so it's a little bit soft, not rocks and things like that. Now this is my whelping area. So this whole segment is for the mother that is going to whelp. So they whelp here. There's a whelping box that I put here. And the reason for the bulb that you see for the heat is because I want the puppies should be maintained at a certain temperature. The whelping area should be maintained at about 30 degrees. So this is what controls that aspect. And then of course there's the other smaller one for the normal bulb. Now when that is finished, I can put the normal bulb and we continue with the illumination here. All my kennels have light. Yeah, I like it that way, so that I can be able to see what is happening inside the kennels, and also the dogs that are there can see what is happening in their backgrounds. The dogs can see at night well, but I just like it lit so that there is no room for anything to go past me or them. Yeah, so this kennel size is a 10 by 10. So I've divided it's a 10 by 10, then it is divided into 10 by 5, then by 5. So the front part is 5, then the behind part is also 5. That's 5 feet, yeah? Yeah. As you can see there, that one has puppies with her puppies behind there, and now she's relaxing there in front. That one belongs to a client, so it's a service I'm doing for them. So it's whelping here as a courtesy to them, because they don't have the time to do the job, so I do it for them. Now, the Chihuahua for myself, I like big dogs. So the Chihuahua is too small for me, and since I have the space, I prefer the bigger breed. Yeah, that's why even when I move from Boabel, I will add a bigger breed, which is now a Caucasian, but not as smaller than a Boabel breed here.
And Shifa Eva Wanjiru Adola Tambo. Area ni Iluongo Sinyolo, Daraja Mbili. Koro Ritruok. Mokwongo waluoko gi every Saturday. Yeah. Iluoko gi shampoo, gi brush. Koro onegni irudhe maber. Yeah, and then kose luok gi ntie guok moko man gi yier mang'eny, koro onegni wa brush gi. Reason for brushing en ni ginyalo breathe maber ki detangle yiergi, alafu be konyo gi kinena guok aesthetics mondo ginen maber. Yes. Gimokwongo nyaka ibet ng'at mi ero guok. Yeah, nyaka ibet gi passion be, because ntie nyaka ibet gi passion, because workload okay Martin and mang'eny koro nyaka ibet gi patience because sometimes oko duok gimme anticipate lakini kintie gi passion to ivumilia kodgi to I think nyalo goli from place A to place B as bet giguok nyaka ibet ng'at ma ng'iyo gi pile kata kin ona mar guok koro sami yawnegi mondo gidhie cho nyaka ing'e ni dog oko behave kaka ang'e oko behave normally gima ibro neno mood gi oduoko piny. Mar ariyo ibro neno ka ging'ok. Symptom mar adek nyaka ing'i kaka gidhie cho because sometimes you can notice diarrhea koro ki notice diarrhea bende ka ging'ok ema bro ng'isi ni guok ni oko healthy koro iluonga vet mondo obi ong'iye. Wang'ado yugi chon ji ne ng'ado yugi nikech ong'er gi mountain lions ne gimako oyugigo kasto gi attack gi lakini tinde wang'ado yugi nikech aesthetics kama boa bells wang'ado yugi mondo ginen maber gineno maber ka yugi ong'ad bende e maintenance kae wang'ado kokgi mondo kik gigwaruza min gi sama gi dhodho because min gi nyalo winjo malit alafu obro guruma koro wang'ado so that they don't gwaruza min gi sama gi dhodho.
Kaka pile chenro mar nyadhiwa wabedo e klas kendo kata ng'at machalo koda mane ok ong'eyo matut kotenore koda guogi ma ji kano e yot kendo guogi ma chenro margi ochan kawuono nitie gik moko achiel ariyo adek ma bende asomo. Nitiere joma kano guok ne arita, nitie joma keto guok kaka osiepegi, to nitiere joma keto guok kaka nyithindegi. Imiyo gi chiemo, ithiedho gi, iluoko gi mar mondo mi gimed ndhadhu mar ngima e ngima mar ng'ato. Ahinya ng'ama janyadhi. Warom kende chenro machielo mar nyadhiwa nyinga Simfros Okinde.